Let's take a look at why Facebook are banning you for expressing your personal opinions and political views. Welcome to another edition of Project Natter. If this is your first time here, or if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button and show your support for freedom of speech. Joining me on this topic is Martin Costello. So in this video, we're just going to take a look at Fascist Book and how it's gone from a platform for everybody to becoming a left-wing echo chamber. So I just want to run through a quick timeline for yourself and everybody and all the viewers, so you can kind of get your head around my thinking, the way things are going. I think the EU are behind all this. So we've just seen recently the likes of David Icke have been banned, and we saw on St. George's Day hundreds of English people were banned, accounts disabled for celebrating St. George's Day. Facebook have since apologised in an article from The Sun, saying that their team got it wrong, and their team oversees thousands and thousands of posts every day. I think they're only sorry because they got caught. That's my personal opinion. But let's just run through this timeline so we can get our heads around what's going on with Fascist Book, as I like to call it. So in May 2018, the European Union summons Mark Zuckerberg to the EU Parliament. Whilst he was there, he was grilled by many EU parliamentaries, one of them including Guy Verhofstadt. Guy Verhofstadt asked Mark Zuckerberg, how did he want to be remembered? Did he want to be remembered as the Steve Jobs of the world? Did he want to be remembered as the Bill Gates of the world, who's putting so much enrichment into the world? Or did he want to be remembered as the genius that created a monster? After this grilling from the European Parliament, fast forward 5 months, Facebook then hires Nick Clegg and as the Vice President of Global Affairs and Communications. They're ineffectively making him in charge of overseeing all disinformation and fake news and whatnot, which is quite ironic, don't you think, Martin, considering that Nick Clegg himself is a compulsive liar. He lied to students, as we know. He said that he wouldn't vote for higher raising tuition fees. He lied in the EU referendum. He said that Nigel Farage's claims of European army was a dangerous fantasy. We know that now to be a lie. So he's lied time and time again. So they put a compulsive liar in charge of overseeing disinformation. And then 6 months into his job, when he started, he then got active. He removed the likes of the BNP, Britain First, English Defence League. This is in April 2019. 1 month later, they then removed the man who we cannot name, so we'll name him by his initials, TR, Alex Jones, Paul Joseph Watson, Milo Yiannopoulos, Laura Numa, and many other Facebook influencers. At the same time, in May, there was an article in Bloomberg where the European Union said that Facebook hadn't gone far enough. Even though they banned all these right-wing politicians and influencers, they apparently hadn't gone far enough. They did actually also ban an Islamic extremist, the head of the Nation of Islam, Sadiq Khan's friend, but they referred to him as a right-winger, would you believe? Fast forward again into September 2019, the Brexiteers page, a page that I was running, had 92,000 followers, reaching between 2 and 3 million people a day. That page was disabled and taken out. At the same month, Guy Verhofstadt then joined forces with Nick Clegg's party, the Liberal Democrats, to stop Brexit. In May, we know that they also launched, in May 2019, they launched the 2 directives, the Article 13, Article 11, which was one was the copyright directive, and the other was the link law, so sharing news articles and stuff like that. Trying to control Facebook, completely trying to control the internet. They've done a real good job there of taking over Facebook, don't you think?
Oh, it's a fantastic effort, isn't it? I mean, you can see the way that these people have been banned. It's completely politically motivated. Because once again, with their community standards, they've got this grey area that just seems to be something that it could be anything. They just move it around to whatever suits them. It's just a huge grey area. And when you've had people like Nick Clegg now, who's lied so many times, he was fighting to keep the UK in the European Union, and like you said, he said that the EU army is a dangerous fantasy, but it's become to fruition. Why is this man in there being able to dictate what people can and can't see? It's clearly got an agenda, and people should always be allowed to say what they think, as long as it doesn't incite violence. They should have that freedom of speech. It's absolutely appalling, and I think putting Nick Clegg in there is like basically sending an arsonist to put out a fire.
But it's Article 10. Article 10 of the Human Rights Act is freedom of expression. We're seeing Facebook time and time again breaking that law, stopping you from expressing your opinion, stopping you from expressing your political views, deleting and disabling and removing people. You yourself, like me, I mean, I'm banned permanently from Facebook. They disabled the Brexiteers page. I still get people messaging me now. Actually, 3 days ago, someone messaged on the website and asked, what was going on. The website's dormant. I don't really use it, but the notification came through. But it's unfair. But this is the route they're going down. They're taking complete and utter control. Tell us a little bit about situations that you had, Martin, because I never got an explanation ever. I never got an explanation. They always were silent whenever I wrote to them. I've even requested my photos and videos back from them that they've stolen from me. And the thieving so-and-so still haven't returned my emails or any of my pictures or videos or whatnot. But there is an alternative now, VK. We'll talk about that in a minute. But tell us a little bit about yourself, the problems that you've had, and the situations of people being banned from posting stuff and whatnot. Because you was the deputy leader of Make Britain Great Again, huge following, 150,000 followers. They nuked your page. Tell us what they did with you.
They did. Well, I mean, I started off Facebook in 2007 when the fad properly started, and obviously I'd be putting my pictures of family on there and things and what I've been up to and all the rest of it. And then fast forward, I was made deputy leader of MBGA, and with that obviously come the responsibility of being an admin. And so we'd post things, and our page was getting massive and massive. So we must have been saying something right, and we totally abided to the community standards that they put on. We always had them. We had complete respect for that. Now, there was a period back in 2018, the summer of 2018, when he, who cannot be named, was jailed. So we organised a protest outside Downing Street to show our disapproval of this situation. Suddenly, as soon as the event was made, boom, the page was purged. It was put on ice. It was like it was frozen in time. There was absolutely nothing we could do with it. We couldn't post things. We couldn't message people. We couldn't do anything. It was just frozen. And, obviously one of the first things you think, oh, well, hang on, maybe it's just one of the admin had problems with it. Then, can you, it'd come to another admin. They had the same problems. It was clear that that's what happened. So obviously the first thing we'd do, we'd get all these messages that are coming in, because we'd post about 5-6 times a day. Well, people's like, why are you gone quiet all of a sudden? So we'd be directing this to Facebook, because we wanted an explanation. We wanted to be able to tell our followers what had happened. But the one day went, no response. 2 days, 3 days, a week. This went on for 3 months. We never got a response from Facebook why our page was purged. And that just seems so dirty and underhanded to me. Then one day it just suddenly worked again, like nothing had happened. And of course, a lot of our followers had disappeared by then, because the page was what they thought were dead, and we'd given up when we hadn't. We were fighting tooth and nail to get it going again. These are some of the underhanded, dirty tactics they use. They're disgusting.
After Facebook banned hundreds of people from, and actually disabled their accounts. They didn't just give them like a 30-day ban. They disabled their accounts for celebrating St. George's Day. Like I said, they've since apologised, said that they made a mistake. Their team made a mistake. I don't think that you could make that many mistakes That's just not the case. I think that the team that Facebook oversees these posts, I think that their political views have clouded their judgment.
Mm.
Personally believe, I still do, that I was under personal attack. I believe there was somebody, in particular, one or two people overseeing my account, and kept banning me. And like I said, I never had any explanation. A lot of people haven't, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, Martin, because there is now an alternative platform where people can go that do, respect free speech and whatnot. It's called VR. VR is the Russian version of Facebook. There are many Facebook influencers that have been banned and now joining VR and moving over, and they're calling everybody over to VR. I now started my own account. Do you have an account yet, Martin?
I'm going to make one as soon as you release this. I'm going to make my own account. I'm going to put my link in it to the comments underneath, and I'll have no friends, so I'm expecting everyone to watch this to make your account and befriend me.
Well, we've seen this done before. We know that it does work. We saw with MySpace. MySpace was the one. Everybody was on MySpace. Anyone you knew back in the day, it was MySpace. As soon as Facebook launched and everyone dived over to Facebook, bang, that was the end of MySpace. So hopefully, I'm urging everybody, if you've got a Facebook account, if you've had any problems, or if you feel affected, or if you think that Facebook are taking liberties with what they're doing, delete your account. You can download your photos, you can download your videos, get your friends and your family to join VK, and it works exactly the same as Facebook. It has the same features. You can upload photos, videos, you can message friends and whatever. There's no reason why you can't do the same as what you're doing on Facebook on VK. So join VK today. I'll leave a link in the description below to mine. So if you want to add me up on there. Martin's going to do the same. Hopefully, we'll see an end to Facebook. If everybody leaves Facebook, who's of the same like-minded, they'll lose so many people, so they'll lose so much revenue for advertisement or whatever. They'll feel it in the pocket, and that will be the end of Facebook. Thanks. Hopefully, well, thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate you coming on to discuss what happened with you, because obviously, the likes of me and yourself, we just get silence and that's it, and we're forgotten about. But if we all come together, we all join VK, we can say goodbye to Facebook, hopefully. Well, if you watch the video, please show your support for freedom of speech. Please press the subscribe, like, and share button. And we'll see you all again soon.